Hello everyone, welcome along to the Chargers TV podcast. Yes, me and JB are back, and we'll explain a little bit of what is going on. So, obviously one, Chargers Hoops TV, phenomenal. 2 episodes in, JB.
Killing it.
Absolutely fantastic. Studio's great. The guys at Beetle Black media partners there, do a wonderful job of putting that show together.
Absolutely.
Walk in and whatnot. For the away game, so we do shows for every home game that we
Correct.
have. For away games, we'll come back and do the podcast, and what we'll do, we'll play the highlights that we get through from the NBL1 media team.
Yep, absolutely.
We'll play that through, and if we're still talking by the end of that, we'll show you more highlights from previous games, and that's how it's going to work. And we're here at Swisher Hoops Academy, JB, and a fair bit happening in the background, and a fair few mums, dads, grandpas, and that around, obviously, Princess Street Primary in as a part of the NBL1 Community Clinics on show here today.
Yes, a little bit on show with that, Ronnie. It's great to see all the kids interacting and all enjoying shooting hoops. And that's what it's all about having fun, enjoying shooting hoops and looking after the next generation of ballers. So, no, great little attendance here, and good to see all the kids get involved. We've got Angie, we've got AJ, and we've got Brooklyn out as well. So, Stewie overseeing all of that, and it's going really well. It's great to see.
Absolutely, and a big thank you to our community partner, Wilson Homes, for sponsoring our NBL1 Community Clinics. Round 4 of the Coles Express NBL1 South season concluded over the weekend, and the women's team went to Diamond Valley and Melbourne respectively. Let's go through some of the results for you now. Hobart were defeated by Diamond Valley in the women's game 69-62. Shannon Thompson top scoring with 27 points and 4 assists. Meanwhile, Angela Tompkins with 20 points and 15 rebounds. And Kyla McCauley with a triple-double. This could be her first triple-double. I might need JB to confirm.
Yes, we'll have to chase
12 points, 11 rebounds and 11 assists. Great work there by Kyla McCauley. Then on the Sunday, they went to the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre to take on the Melbourne Tigers and went down by 18 in the end. 69-51, Angela Tompkins. Again, with another good double-double outing. 21 points, 15 rebounds. Kyla McCauley with 14 points and 7 rebounds. Meanwhile, Shannon Thompson had 10 points and 6 assists. Let's talk about the women's 2 games there, JB, and what do we make of it?
It was very tough, Ronnie. I know that there was some late exclusions to the squad. Leah Bartlett going down early Saturday, so Pia Rhodes getting called up to head onto the road, and great to see Pia getting some just reward for the hard work she's putting in. A public apology, and I said I would list this one too, a public apology. Pia had got minutes in her first Launceston game, however, I'd mistook that in the previous broadcast, so apologies on that one there to Pia. But yeah, just a real interesting Saturday. The team not really arriving to the stadium until almost game time, Ronnie. 5:45 due to flights and car rentals and just other misfortunes throughout the day, but arrived pretty much bang on game time. So the game was held for 15 minutes. I thought it was going to be a little bit touch and go there. I didn't actually share the live links, unfortunately, until a little later on in the evening. I was busy working, but nonetheless got those links out there, and the girls were really competitive and really strong for all 4 quarters, and to me, I reckon that was their best performance so far, no doubt about it. Angie Tompkins has found her way into this league and into this lineup. It's been really good to see her. 20 points, 15 rebounds, back-to-back games, essentially with only 12 hours between games, Ronnie. That's or 18 hours between games. That's a massive effort by her there. But, just in the end, just a bit of track work, honestly, from Diamond Valley there. They just weren't able to, they were able to get on top and really control that one there. But again, for our girls, that's easily the best game they've had. Unfortunately, though, it has just been a story of turnovers at the wrong time, probably giving up some rebounds and some extra chance opportunities. But everything considered for that game, Ronnie, a really, really good performance. And I just think that the following day, everything caught up to them. It was really tight through the first quarter. Then by halftime, Melbourne were really in control of the game and ran away with it by there. But, some solid improvement from this women's team. There's no doubt about it. Again, leading the way, Angie Tompkins. She's come into the squad to do exactly what she's doing, score, get boards, and that's exactly what she's doing in spades there. You don't go on the road and average a double-double if you can't play, let alone having 15 boards and essentially 21 points a game. So great performance by her. Great to see Shana Thompson, still trying to get that effort there. Shana's shot probably a little cold in that second game, and that's something she'll want to work on during the week, heading into a big match up at home. And Kylie McCauley, ever the veteran, ever the superstar, selfless nonetheless. I mean, she has hinted at it being her last season, but you post a triple-double, you come out and you have 14 and 7. A tremendous effort by her. But it's great to see that clear improvement. And considering the rough round and the rough starts of the weekend they had, 2 losses is certainly not what the team wanted, but there's clear signs of improvement and there's clearly steps being made in the right direction. So full compliments to the girls despite what the scoreboard said.
Onwards and upwards for the women's team, that is for sure, JB. Let's go to the men's results, and the men win 2-0 on the weekend, and they get the win over Diamond Valley 86-71. AJ Harris with 23 points, 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Ollie Angerstein had 21 points and 8 rebounds. Jacob Richards had 12 points and 5 rebounds. Flip it over to the other day, to the following day, and they went again. They also went to the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre and defeated the Melbourne Tigers 97-84. Harry Froling had a good bounce back game. There 24 points and 19 rebounds.
Massive
and
game.
4 assists. Ollie Angerstein Angerstein, yes,
it
we
is
got that right.
Angerstein.
Yes, we'll mention Ollie shortly, but 22 points and 10 rebounds. The big fella putting in very good work over the 2 games. Jack Stanwick chipping in with 15 points and 4 assists. So the men get the 2 wins that Stewie is looking for. And what do we make of those 2 games, JB?
Well, we speak about it when teams come on the road to Tassie, Ronnie. The clue on any road trip is to snag the first one, and if you can't, at worst, you want to finish. You want to finish strong. You don't have fresh legs at that point. You want to turn it around and you want to split it. To go 2-0 on your first road trip, again, looked shaky when Harry coming back into the lineup again, and that's one thing we've noticed with these Chargers teams, Ronnie, over the last few years, that as players get injected, it does take roughly a week or 2 for the squad to gel, but once they gel and once they click and everyone's firing on all cylinders, good luck catching them. That's exactly what happened. I mean, Diamond Valley was, a bit of an interesting outing. I think Harry Froling certainly worked his way into that game there. Ollie Angerstein, and again, we do apologise to Ollie for previous broadcast, but we have been told by Ollie personally that it is Angerstein. A revelation at the moment. I think he's averaging something like 16 and 12 in this league right now, and he's gone from, running around in the cold, wet winters of Hobart playing footy, Ronnie, to all of a sudden he played a bit of state league basketball, and now he's the talk of the NBL1 South comp.
Yes,
he's just come out of the absolute clouds, but
he's
been a revelation, and again, it really just proved in that second game against Melbourne, a 19-point halftime lead. Someone who was running the social media for the club said it was commanding. They might have been a little nervous at 3/4 time. I'll give you a hint. His initials are JB, but when you see a tandem like Froling and you see a tandem like Angerstein combined for 46 points, 29 rebounds, multiple blocks, plenty of passing. That's a tandem and a twin tower combination. Teams are going to struggle to guard. I mean, Froling, as we saw in that opening game at the Sports Centre, unfortunately going down to the Cobras with it, but had the handles, had the ability to take it off the dribble, had the ability to flush, had the ability to stretch the floor, and he did that in spades on the weekend. And in turn, Ollie Angerstein, he's just going to try and rip every board, every backboard down he could.
He will.
Just looking at, poor old Andrew Gaze. A shout out to Gazy and Mason there. That's quite a touch there on that road trip. We'll get to in a sec, but. You look at just the performance there, and you look at the way those rims were shaking and wobbling, and the intimidation factor of what those dunks are doing to opposition players. Ollie's doing this in traffic, and having had a few years playing football, he's now very much used to taking some severe body contact that he's certainly allowed to get away with a lot more in the FIBA game. But again, a massive, massive weekend. You want to go on the road, you want to split them at worst, you want to come away 2-0. Massive games there. The Melbourne Tigers, a staple club, a royal club of Australian basketball. Unfortunately, not the name used in the NBL anymore, but I mean the history that's with that club there, unprecedented. Arguably the founding fathers of basketball, so to speak, in Australia. And then you go against Diamond Valley, who had some pretty good talent in there. Dame Pinot, Ben Allen, that's it there. 2 stalwarts of the game in the league now at this stage, and to come away 2-0, really confident there. And personally, just to see some of those young fellas, particularly on this Chargers squad, a really young travelling team, your Jacob Richards, your Jack Stanwicks, Phoenix Robies, your Jalen Howards, to see them go away, your Callum Bouchers, and perform in front of Andrew Gaze on Gazy's home floor. I mean, Stewie would have that feather in the cap too, to say, look, I'm going to bring this young squad in. Now, Melbourne, still a developing squad, still a growing squad, but it's just great to see those young fellas going out. And don't get me wrong, Andrew Gaze will notice that. If you can play a good game in front of Gazy, I mean, that's a feather in anybody's cap, and that's not a bad scout to have. So, great to be on the road, great to get 2 wins. Again, steps obviously being taken for our women's team, but our men's team really bouncing back off was probably a tough loss, certainly a bitter loss at home the week before.
Absolutely. Now your Mackay Timber Hobart Chargers are home this Friday night. We take on the Ringwood Hawks, and Ringwood, it's their first time coming to Tasmania for the road trip in the Coles Express NBL1 South season. And JB, what do we know about Ringwood? And Ringwood, in the men's side of things, they're only a couple of spots down from Hobart. Hobart currently 7 at the moment. In the women's, obviously Ringwood slightly ahead of Hobart, of course. Unfortunately, Hobart on the bottom of the ladder in the women's comp at the moment, but hopefully they're going to go up, JB. We're going to go up. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I think the big thing, we'll start with the women's comp first. The big thing is for the girls, it's going to be growing and keeping that consistency from the road trip. Probably the most adverse game they had was their opening game of that road trip. Delayed flights, car rental issues. Your itinerary gets jumbled around. You're trying to measure it. You get to the stadium late. You're essentially taping up on the bus, getting off, warming up and playing. That's not ideal conditions. They've fought that through that adversity there. So that mental challenge and that adversity to have a game like that and be so close, you need to bring them building blocks off the road and bring them down. Of course, we're going to be looking for Shana Thompson to get back into that group. Hopefully, Leah Bartlett's back in the squad as well. Zoe Banks, she's been showing some real steps going forward. But it's going to be a great test. Ringwood, one of the premier teams and leading teams here in the Coles Express NBL1 South competition in the women's squads, in the women's side. So, again, Angie Tompkins aspiring. I think you've got to keep playing to her strengths, and I think you've got to keep, utilising your Kylie McCauley's and alike who, are really sacrificing their game and really getting things done even in, her more senior years of her career. And again, this is a good opportunity for our girls now back at home to step up. Your Maddie Stratsmans, your Eliza Vanderkamp, your Coco Aarons, your Pia Rhodes, this is their chance to get back into things, to have some fun, and really enjoy it and really try and step up. It's going to be a massive challenge to do it, but, Ringwood's the team to do it. They're one of the standard bearers of this competition and certainly going to be pushing that final spot, into the finals this year. In the men's competition, Stewie's going to be very happy with that back-to-back road trip, but he wants to avenge that home loss where they really felt they had it. But he's got to be really confident. Again, the Twin Towers combining 46 and 29.
Yes,
Ronnie. That's tough to guard. AJ Harris is in this squad as well. Harry's settled in now after a couple of weeks. Jack Stanwicks is without the face mask. We've spoken about the development of Jalen Howard, Phoenix Roby. You've got a lot deeper team at home as well. So they're going to sense this is a game to take. But at this point, you need to start getting some serious wins on the board. It's okay to win and it's okay to get above 500. But at the same time, you need to really start stepping up. As Stewie's shooting in, would you like a live shot on the podcast as he just keeps going
He just shakes his head.
Cannot believe we've moved the studio. But, the big thing here now, Ronnie, and that's one thing the Chargers have done over the last couple of years, they get a couple of games in front of 500. They're right in the hunt. Now they've got to sniff. So all of a sudden they need to come home. They need to make a statement. A massive opening term against Melbourne. Almost 30 points on the board. Finished with 97. A lot of dunks. A lot of excitement. They need to bring that back to that home crowd. And they need to put Ringwood straight off their game. Of course, at the moment, bit of a tussle. They're still fighting, tooth and neck roughly to try and, tooth and nail sort of around that early part. But at the same time, they're coming on the road. You want to show why we're the hardest road trip in the country. Send them packing early. It is what it is for the Thunder to take them on after that. But if you are the Chargers, there's clear steps being made in the women. You're expecting a better result on the scoreboard. For the men, you're above 500 now. You're starting to click. Everything looked really good on the weekend. You want to avenge that loss. Let's see what they can do.
Absolutely. And, of course, game times are 6 o'clock for the women, 8 o'clock for the men. You can get your tickets via our website, www.hobartchargers.com.au/tickets, or you can go by the What's On app.
Our favourite app, Ronnie, for those who have been tuning into the Chargers Hoops TV, and all the tickets on there. And I know that a bit of a giveaway going on. I won't reveal too much, but I know there's some special incentives going on for our NBL1 community clinics as well. So hoping to see a few of the young kids that are getting through the school clinics this week and throughout the next few weeks, getting to games and seeing the superstars that are teaching them the game, playing the game as well.
Absolutely, JB. No, it is absolutely fantastic to see. And of course, you can follow the Hobart Chargers on their social media. You can give us a like on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram, and you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. But also to subscribe to Chargers Hoops TV. We will touch on that in a second, but you can keep updated with all the goings on here for your Mackay Timber Hobart Chargers through our social media. Make sure you follow the NBL1 on their social media for all conferences. If you get a chance, we'll talk about the Wildcard Conference 2 coming up later on in the year as well too, as the COE coming to town. We'll touch on that a little bit later. But yes, JB, Chargers Hoops TV, there's going gangbusters, as you say there. And no, it's been a lot of fun. The first 2 episodes have been great to record down there in Cambridge, where we shoot it from. And we're back in there next week, and we have a special guest coming up.
Yes, we will have a special guest coming up. H. Frolling, I do believe, is going to be
I believe so.
Special guest there. I don't know whether we're meant to reveal that, but nonetheless, there it is. There's a Chargers TV exclusive.
That's right.
But
Yes.
no, it's going to be really good. It's been really exciting. A shout out to all the guys at Beetle Black Media, particularly Darren, who's been helping us with this one there. Lovely being in the studio. A much more professional vibe to it, and it's not that we don't endeavour to try and bring that professional vibe, Ronnie, but when we're living full-time lives, working and studying and everything else we're doing, trying to find that downtime and mix that with the editing time can be pretty difficult. For us, this is pretty easy. We just transfer the video into an audio, put a background on it and upload it. It's a lot easier than trying to trim and cut and overlay, which is good. But again, subscribe over to Chargers Hoops TV, because not only are you seeing Chargers Hoops TV, Ronnie, but we're also seeing some of the mashups, so to speak, and the I'm trying to think, what does Darren call those?
Supercuts.
Supercuts, that's it. You'll see the supercuts of the games at home as well, which is really great to watch, a different perspective on the game as well, and some great roaming camera footage. But no, it's been really good. A shout out to Beetle Black Media and everyone there at the studio who are making us look a hell of a lot better than we normally do, Ronnie. So it's a great little change. It was a needed change, I feel. But in a positive step as well.
Absolutely. Now, live stream air times. We're on air from 5:55 p.m. in the women, and we 7:55 in the men. You can join myself, JB. Mark Nash should be returning to commentary this week as well, JB.
We understand that he should be right.
Jacob Jewell should be returning to courtside commentary as well too, so we should have a full complement of a full crew here. A Stewart is about to throw something towards us as a prank.
We were just wondering, where was that one? As we fixed that one there.
Yeah,
Throw that one away there.
Shout out to all the people here at Swisher as well too, JB. Just quickly, while the shenanigans going on in the background, he likes our stuff that we do.
He's very much tuning into Chargers Hoops TV. Now, that's an endorsement. I do remember him telling the referees to look at the film, and that was a real endorsement of our coverage as well. So.
Absolutely. I don't know if I'm going to keep that in.
Oh, that was a different league. Don't worry. This has got nothing to do with NBL1.
Right, I think
that was a local league compliment. That was Stewie endorsing the broadcast. But no, it's been really good. And again, the broadcasting should be fun. Always good to have Jacob on. Yes. Great to have Mark on as well, and just to have that full complement and probably the most thorough and in-depth coverage of any team across the league. To be honest with you there, Ronnie, no team has a special comments team like us, I don't think, and no one has that boundary rider as well. It's going to be good to have Nashy back on special comments. He's got a plethora of things at the moment to offer us there with all his coaching and playing experience both in and out of the league. And Jacob Jewell, a great courtside reporter as well. You know, it's a pretty dynamic broadcast, and we try and offer everything to everyone that we can. So that's always fun. A big shout out while we do have the podcast here. A shout out to Louis, our graphics man. Who all of those graphics you see on our social media and our Instagram have been through Louis and his great work. So shout out to him. And we hope you've been enjoying them as well. So just a bit of a change up and just a bit of a revamp all around for this year, Ronnie.
Yeah, no, it's been good, JB. It's been absolutely fantastic. That will pretty much wrap us up in this edition of the podcast. We'll be back in, I think, a couple of weeks' time. The boys have two home games stretch here, I'm pretty sure, and then the added bonus of the COE being in town, and then we break for the long weekend, and then it's a massive road trip ahead. So we'll be back sometime in June, but you can always catch us on Chargers Hoops TV or the live stream, which you can go through by the NBL1 website or the NBL1 app. Now, I must stress the NBL1 app, not the NBL app. It's the NBL1 app this year where you can watch the games. As Stewie says hello to us once again, and just quickly, very nice.
And just quickly, Ronnie, while we do that, we do need to stress that it is the NBL1 app and it is the NBL1 website.
Stewie just I think that's
Andrew Vlahov stopping in on the podcast. But just to quickly stress, because I mean, working overtime with the social media crew, you know, that's something that we're always wanting to attain. Yeah. It is definitely 100% the NBL1 app or the NBL1 website. We as a club post the links on our Facebook page as a post to where you can watch. You will not anything that's you see in a comment section or in a shared post by someone else. That is not the link. The official link is posted by the club, and you can find them on the Hobart Chargers Facebook page or in turn find them on the Twitter account as well at Hobart Chargers there. Do not click on links in comment sections that tell you to subscribe or any of that nonsense. That's not the case. The NBL1 website, the NBL1 YouTube app is where you catch all the action.
Absolutely, JB. On that note, we will finish it there. On behalf of Justin Bryan, I'm Ron Riggs. We'll see you Friday night at the Kingborough Sports Centre.